Hi there, my Beetle and I are touring the south of Saxony. Down here there are places where almost everything revolves around design. Have you ever heard of Horch? Maybe not, but how about Audi? The town of Zwickau is the birthplace of the automobile brand, and here, where it all began, is an amazing museum. And in neighbouring Schneeberg, I'll meet a group of budding fashion designers studying at the University of Applied Arts there. I'm intrigued, maybe they'll even have a design for me. Let's go and find out. Car museum. I guess I could drive straight through the doors, but I'm not sure if my VW Beetle here would be very welcome, since this car manufacturer has a different story. Back in the day, cars were manufactured here. Now it's a museum full of beautiful vintage vehicles. The museum is named after August Horch, who launched car manufacturing in Zwickau. The story began right here.
August Horch founded the Horch company and brand, and later Audi. That's why Audi and Horch are linked here at the museum. So these are the oldest cars we have. On this side is the Horch 1911. It's pretty much the direct competitor to this vehicle here, the Audi Type C. It's hard to imagine now, but people used to drive these cars in rally races.
In the following decades, Zwickau became a centre of car production in Germany. The brand Horch, however, depreciated. The reason was that August Horch had to leave his own company in 1909 following a dispute with sponsors. He founded a new firm, but he couldn't also name it Horch, which is a colloquial way of saying listen in German.
The story goes that the son of one of his friends and sponsors was sitting in the next room and said, "Why not just use the Latinization?" That's the story anyway.
I've also been granted access to the basement, where a very special surprise awaits me. It's the Restoration Workshop, a museum equivalent to backstage exclusivity.
Here you go.
Nice. So, like a pro. I get to try fitting a radiator grille. Quite the honour, as it's worth more than 20,000 euros. Bernd Cekala is a retired car engineer. Together with former Horch Association colleagues, he's building a replica of a very special vehicle from scratch, the Horch 1417.
This is the car with which August Horch launched production here in Zwickau. So, we're rebuilding the first car that was made here in Zwickau.
When was that? Like 100 years ago?
The vehicle we're recreating was first made in 1904.
So it's all new.
Completely. It's all a recreation. Everything you see here is new. We only have one photo.
Da gibt es dieses Foto, was wir gefunden haben, was auch in der Ausstellung zu sehen ist.
There isn't a single car of this model left in the world. Hence the recreation right down to the engine.
Push it gently forwards and then turn it. There's no compression, so to speak, at the moment.
Who needs the gym, eh?
Well, it's not that easy. After World War II, Audi relocated to Ingolstadt in West Germany. But car production also continued in the then East German town of Zwickau. One of the best-known models is the Trabant, which has become a symbol of the GDR.
Its outer body was made from Duroplast, which led to jokes that the Trabant was made of corrugated cardboard and earned it the nickname Rennpappe.
When you think of a Trabant today, this front is precisely what springs to mind. What does the Trabant look like? Exactly like that, except maybe for the color, which is a little unusual. It was the people's car of East Germany. More than 1.3 million rolled off production lines, and it would almost become an important family member.
4 aces with the Trabant 601, 4 adults comfortably fit. And there's plenty of room for luggage. Easy steering, fast, long-lasting and robust. Your dependable companion, the new Trabant 601.
You had to wait ages to get one. People would save up to buy one, and they would try to keep it in good condition, because you couldn't just buy a new car after 5 years. Production never kept pace with demand. That's why it was so important to place your order in good time, ideally at birth.
A 10-year wait.
Even longer, 10 to 14 years.
It's hard to imagine.
Yes, hard to imagine these days, unless you want something very exclusive. But this was an exclusive product back then, and the long wait gave people time to save up the money to buy the car.
Okay, my love, I'm going to have to leave you by yourself for a while. The opportunity to go for a joyride in a Trabant doesn't come around very often.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. I'm Michael.
Can I really drive one of these cars?
Sure, that's what they're here for. This is a Trabant from the year 1989. It's a deluxe version, so it was something special at the time. The deluxe version comes with hinged windows, chrome fenders, and taillights.
This feels different to my car.
It is different. This is the gear shift lever in a Trabant. It's known as the walking stick gear lever.
Okay, I've never used anything like that before.
Yes, it's unusual. So, first, second. No, in the middle first. Out, down, third, fourth.
Okay. Okay, see you later. Maybe. Okay.
Me in a Trabant driving through Zwickau. Quite the adventure. It's not that easy.
We'll get there. Third, exactly.
Going from second to third's fine, but going from third back into second is a bit harder.
I'll help you.
Thanks. It is fun though.
Now turn the indicator off. It doesn't switch off automatically. Third. Yes, like that.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, it's getting slightly easier. So why Trabis?
Childhood memories, pure and simple. I can remember, it must have been 1989 or 1990, the whole family, green weight, yes, was driving to Hungary. Dad driving, Mum in the passenger seat.
The whole family in a car like this.
I was sitting in the back with my brother, with baskets on our laps, because the trunk wasn't big enough.
Oh, okay, we made it. That was such a cool experience. I had a lot of fun, even if I was nervous.
You did very well for a first spin in a Trabi.
Thanks.
Tschüss.
Zwickau isn't just famous for its industrial and design heritage. It's also a city of art and culture. Robert Schumann was from Zwickau. Born in 1810, the famous composer spent his childhood years here. The house where he was born still stands. It's now a museum. And since I'm in Zwickau, I just have to pop into this place, the Pechstein Museum. I'm due to meet curator Annika Weiser. The expressionist painter Max Pechstein was from Zwickau too, and a member of the artists group known as Die Brücke, or The Bridge.
These days, Max Pechstein is regarded as one of the leading representatives of German Expressionism. He was recognized early on as a key figure among the radical young artists from the German avant-garde. Many of our visitors know him mainly as a member of the artist group The Bridge, which he joined in Dresden in 1906. They just knew they wanted to reject what they'd been taught at the Art Academy, which they saw as stuffy. They wanted to bring more emotion, subjectivity, and immediacy to painting. And that's what Max Pechstein is best known for today.
After 2 museum visits in one day, I'm keen to be outside and see some of the surrounding region. I'm driving to an appointment in nearby Werdau. I'm meeting Philipp Gladsam at the old train station. His real name is Philipp Fröhlich. He grew up in Zwickau and now works as a photographer and videographer and has almost 40,000 followers on Instagram.
Welcome to Werdau, near Zwickau. About 9 months ago, I filmed a music video here. I think the region here is fascinating, and I thought, maybe I can show you a few things and explain why I think it's such a romantic and charming place.
Perfect. Let's go. Philipp Gladsam loves music, and he also works for the television music channel MTV as a photographer. Werdau train station may look deserted, but it's actually still in use. A renovation has long been planned, but the process hasn't started yet.
In a way, that's emblematic of why I like it here. Time has stood still in some of these places, to an extent. They weren't renovated to death, but just left as they are. For me, it's what gives this character.
A bit retro.
Exactly, and that makes it interesting.
This music video was filmed in the region around Werdau, and Philipp shot it. We check out the filming location together. The small house is part of a truck cargo weighing station and belongs to a nearby farm.
Yeah. You've got this open field, one small building and a tree. It's a bit
lonely, but also romantic.
and a bit of Wes Anderson.
True.
That's why I thought it'd be a good spot to show you.
Beautifully symmetrical.
Exactly. There's a peacefulness, a serenity.
I pop the hood after a short rain shower and get ready for my next destination. I'm excited. I'm on the road to Schneeberg, around 30 kilometers away. You may not have heard of the small town in the Ore Mountains, but it's become a bit of a hub for fashion design.
This is a University of Applied Arts, an international hotspot for those who want to study fashion or textile design. Here on campus, things are pretty hectic right now because it's exam time.
A fashion show in the university hallway, kicking off exams for second-year fashion students who are modelling their own designs.
It's not just the idea. To us, everything, including the finished prototype and presentation, is equally important and comes under the broad umbrella of good design. But our main focus is on actually realizing them.
As well as fashion, the university also offers courses in textile design. Irina Balepkina from Kaliningrad in Russia shows me patterns she created on a digital loom and a digital printing machine. There's also a wood design department.
To me, the fact that it's interdisciplinary makes it very interesting. I didn't just study wood, I also got to learn about and work with textiles. They've always been a big source of inspiration for me, also because I see them here all the time.
These are some of Simon Rogala's textile with wood designs. He's already founded his own label to sell his products under in the future. I'm back with the fashion designers.
Oh, wow. I was missing color in Germany, and that is how this project came about. Yeah.
I'm talking to Ridhima Vadva from Gujarat in India. She's been studying here for 4 years.
This was my first semester in Schneeberg.
Your first piece.
Yeah, my first piece. And this is basically how my thoughts were in that moment, coming to such a small place from
India.
From India, where usually there's
No wonder your head was a mess. What actually brought you over here in the first place?
To Schneeberg, what I really loved about Schneeberg, especially for fashion design, was the combination of working with experimental design and very classic design.
22-year-old Ridhima has come up with many interesting designs. She wants to show me 2 of her creations, not at the university fashion studio, but in the centre of Schneeberg. First, a type of suit for construction workers that can be worn in a variety of ways, depending on the weather. And then a second, more unusual design.
This was a group project that we made together in the third semester. So the topic is all about environmental waste and environmental pollution, especially the waste produced by fashion industry. Okay. So we got all the materials that we've used here. We've got from the university's archive that they were about to throw away, and we decided to weave all of them together.
This is definitely a much nicer home than my student living ever was. Really? Should I hold it? Yeah. Please. How long does it take?
Radima has invited me back to her place for a coffee.
How's it been then, being so far away from family? Was it difficult to adjust at the start?
Difficult in the beginning, but I'm happy that I'm on my own, because I feel like that is a step that you take really late in India.
Okay.
Moving away from family, being on your own.
Or does that usually happen later?
It happens later, or it never happens, because you mostly live in joint families in India.
Even if you're studying, or?
Yeah, even if you're studying, even if you're married.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So it's harder for you to have your own independence there.
Yeah, and that was basically one of the big reasons why I moved to Germany, why I moved away. And Germany just came to me.
On the way to one of Radima's favourite spots, we passed a parade, a local annual tradition that dates back more than 500 years. It marks the day of an historic and successful pay strike by miners in the late 15th century. Radima often goes for walks in the countryside around Schneeberg. We take one of her favourite routes.
Yeah, it's a great view.
Yeah. I mean, it is also one of the easiest things you can do in Schneeberg is walk, hike, bike, or swim.
Or watch the sunset.
Or watch the sunset.
Very romantic.
Yeah.
And do you all literally just come here after your classes and?
Yeah, mostly. Or we go on the other side, that is into the fields over there. I mean, that is a better spot for the sunset.
Nice.
Here you're just away from people and
have your own space and your own community.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
A museum site in Schneeberg. Here at this former stamp mill, stones were crushed to find ore. Once they graduate, most of the design students move away. Many head to fashion capitals, but some opt to stay. I'm heading to meet someone who made that choice in a museum site in Schneeberg.
It may not look like it, but many artists actually have their studios here in this old museum. I'm about to meet a designer who's had a lot of success with recycled fashion. Her signature designs are second-hand t-shirts with so-called trash prints. Let's go take a look. Hi.
Glück auf.
Oh yeah, that's what they say here. I'm Hannah.
I'm Francie. Hi, welcome. I was out collecting trash earlier. This is the result after just 10 minutes.
Franziska Heinze studied fashion design in Schneeberg and remained in the town. Her trademark is to use collected garbage to create printed t-shirts. Each of her recycling prints is a one-off piece. Her t-shirts include information such as how long it would take for the materials to decompose naturally. This water bottle, for example, takes 500 years. I try on several and get to choose my favourite.
What a cool souvenir to take home with me from a region that's so recognised for its success in design. Lots of happy memories to take away with me. See you next time.